Hello guys, so since January 2020, where I was ironically managing a vegan health food shop at the time, that was the date I started my carnivore diet. So what I wanted to do was optimize my cognition, improve my cognitive health, and suppress negative symptoms of autism. I also found made it more easy to maintain a fit physique and reduce inappropriate inflammation in my body. So with those goals in mind, did I achieve any of them? Every last one. Every last one. I've now become one of the most influential carnivore YouTube channels, for what it's worth, in the UK. And this was within 4 months of actually starting up my YouTube channel. This is, for me, it's quite a large achievement. I'm not done yet. Definitely not done yet. What I found in this time that I've been on the diet is I can communicate better. I've still got the synesthesia, so you'll see when I'm filming my videos, oftentimes I'm looking into space. That's because if I see myself in the camera, that seems to be some sort of problem I have where I'm doing it right now, and it's really challenging. I don't like it. It gives me some sort of sensory response which I don't particularly like to have. The same is true when I'm looking people in the eye when I'm communicating with them, so I find that challenging still. But outside of that, yeah, I've achieved all I've wanted to achieve so far. Still a lot more to achieve that I'm looking forward to actually do. I mentioned these things with pride, as I should. How often do we get the opportunity to improve any of our mental or physical health outcomes? It's very seldom seen in the Western world. We actually live in a way which is appropriate, where we can demonstrate we can achieve these things. Just because of the way the model has made it, the societal model is not conducive to improve health. We know this because health has got worse. Now, if it wasn't for this diet I've been following for the last 3 years, I'd still be playing RuneScape up until 2 AM in the morning. Be watching, YouTube videos and playing games and things online and just being useless. And in my opinion, that is useless, without purpose in life. Now I've found some purpose, which helps aid my ambition, my innate desire to get better, which is something I'm always conscious of doing. My own health journey isn't done yet, as I just mentioned. I had spinal fusion and decompression surgery in December of 2022, so not too long ago. I'm still biohacking to maximize my recovery ability, and the diet seems to be working very well. What I've learned is that there are many charlatans in the nutrition space online, preying on vulnerable people and sick people to achieve some monetary benefit. Many of them are just in a perpetual echo chamber, watching YouTube videos all day that ensure their confirmation bias towards the diet they're following works well. There's a very slight disconnect, which I'm noticing time and time again when I speak with different people. They think that they can watch videos online, follow the carnivore diet, and oftentimes not to even close to 70% adherence, then cure their disease state. That's one problem I'm noticing time and time again. Also, people are transitioning to the diet, in my opinion, too fast. Achieving health can be a marathon. It's not going to be a sprint. If you spend all this time over the decades ruining your health, then it's going to take perhaps just as long to improve it from that point. Now, people also often forget the value of the limbic system and the emotional state. It's something I know my friend Phil Escott is an avid proponent of. I'll link his stuff at the bottom of this video as well. With the exception of the 3 to 4 months where I went off the rails, I've been honestly carnivorous to around 99% over the course of this time. Now, this will actually include the 1 to 2 meals a month I have with family, which are we might call non-carnivore, or not entirely just meat. Is this optimal? No, but I can say I'm a lot better in terms of strictness than the vast majority of people in the space. Many of the popular people that you follow aren't strict. I know this as fact. They're not strict. Now, this isn't a he said, she said kind of video to say who's doing it better, but I do want to point out that we have our own inbuilt tolerability to different foods. So I can kind of understand why people will say that they're strict to the carnivore diet. because it reinforces to other people that it is possible. Of course it's possible. It's our natural diet. We've been following it for millions of years. Now, what I want to point out here as well is myself. I was diagnosed with autism around, maybe 6-7 years ago at this point, quite late on in life. Now, my tolerability to foods which include gluten, oxalate, do seem to be indicated in different studies as being very problematic to the autistic individual. This in mind, my off meals will often avoid these foods, or actually totally avoid them. So bread isn't really on the menu. Spinach and almonds, definitely not on the menu. Foods like that. Salads, basically. Like I said, this isn't a competition of who's doing the carnivore diet better or more strict. We're all going to find a way to do it which is more adherable, and we can actually adhere to the diet better, obviously. So, we don't have to be dogmatic. We just have to do the best we can. And sometimes being too strict can often deter us from our results, because if we're strict forever, we don't get the results we want, we're more likely to go off the rails. At this point, going back to my own sort of story where I went off the rails for a few months, was when I joined Pim Johnson's Facebook group, and I gained some valuable knowledge on how to deal with my binge eating behaviours. Now that, coupled with Bart Kay's, that's Professor Bart Kay, he had some excellent information and still pumps out information all the time, several times a week, every week, about understanding our bodies and how to address any kind of health issues we have. Now, another great teacher I have is Harry Sopanos. So he's not even a consultant or a nutritionist or he doesn't have any sort of relevant degrees in the subject, but he has a lot of experience with himself and helping lots of people online. Now, he's not a consultant, so he can't advise you in that sort of sense for a payment, but he does do lots of free videos every week or every month. I'm trying to think now. Every 3 weeks, I believe, where he talks about nutrition and health and how it all comes into play and what you can do as an individual to improve that. He does provide hours of content. I suggest you follow his channel, Bart's and Pim's. Now, there are many others, but in my opinion, these are the 3 individuals that seem to really be vital in shaping my future health outcomes. I can see myself looking back 5 years from now and thinking, yeah, the information they taught me was very, very valuable. The final point I want to make in this brief ramble is that many I speak with don't understand the value of exercise. It seems to be this bizarre thing which people don't have to do, or it's difficult, or you'll be too muscular, or something will happen which is completely out of the blue. I want to sort of state the fact that, getting huge muscles will take a long time. I've been training now for well over a decade. It's taken me a long time to build this this much muscle mass up. Now, saying that, you can still improve your physique. Even if you're doing 1 session a week in the gym, even 2, 3, 4 might be even better. You have your own kind of ability to spend time doing this based on what you want to achieve and how much time you can dedicate towards it. My brother, for example, he works full-time and he does 4 resistance training sessions per week and also 2 high-intensity interval training sessions per week. He's muscular, fit, in shape, lean, and still has a good work-life balance. Still goes to the cinema, goes to concerts, enjoys his life. He's a busy guy. My partner, Sophie, has 2 young children, works part-time, still manages to do 4 to 5 gym sessions per week. Now, getting to a gym when you've got children is tricky, so what she'll actually do is oftentimes she'll put the youngest one to bed in her allotted bedtime period, which is 10 to 12 a.m. usually. Then after that, the youngest one might get outside, play in the garden, watch some TV, play with the toys. Then she'll do a half an hour to 40-minute gym session in the garden with the equipment she bought. So she's found a way around it. Myself, so I had spinal decompression fusion surgery 4 months ago now, roughly. Within 8 days of that, the second the most painful surgery you can possibly have as a human being, I was doing a home workout. Now, it wasn't a hard workout in terms of what you might visually see, but it was very challenging for me. I was worn out after about 6 sets. I don't think I was even training close to failure, but it was tricky. From that point, I've increased my training volume, intensity, the difficulty of exercise I've been able to do. I've listened to my own body and managed to achieve more since then. So there really is no excuse for the majority of people in most circumstances. I believe the extensive associated benefits will outweigh the negatives in terms of resistance training. You might get sore joints, but that just means you're training too hard. You haven't adapted yet. All these different things I can talk about in a consultation. On a side note, my channel focuses on improving body composition using both the carnivore diet and also safe, effective resistance training methods. So if you want to achieve the same results as myself and some of my clients, I'd strongly advise looking at what I have to offer on my website. That's compositionconsultant.com. I'll also link that one below. I'll also provide a list of my suggested groups and research materials that you may find useful. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also a positive comment if you enjoyed this ramble. Thank you very much.